Yo, it's Wante, and today I wanted to make a quick guide for you guys of how to beat the new Anniversary Act 8 dungeon solo. Now, this is probably the hardest event in AV so far, somehow managing to triumph the Guilty Gear EX Legend stage. So yeah, that's why I'm making this quick guide for you guys. I would recommend watching all the way through as I explain how to get past every mechanic throughout the entire event, and there is some important stuff to know about the event for each boss. And I have some alternative units towards the end as well, so stick around for that. But guys, I don't want to waste any more time, let's just get right into the video. Now, if you didn't know, this event is actually really important because it unlocks Act 9 of the dungeon, which is how you actually end up farming the cakes. So this is how you pull DIO and the other banner units, as well as evolving all of the units from this update. And this event is actually fairly hard as well. So this is the team I'm going to be running. I'm going to be running Guts, Esacnor, Broly, Trapper, and then 2 farm units. The Trapper is actually very essential for this. Everyone else is semi-replaceable. You can definitely replace Guts with somebody who does early damage like Sukuna. You really just want a multiple placement high damage unit. That's why I bring Guts here. Also because I don't have Monarch on him, but any high damage placement unit you have would work. And then I have 2 Monarch units. You can definitely run Kaguya here, possibly, but I just have Broly because he buffs Guts, and then Esacnor, he does a lot of damage. So yeah, this is a long event, so we're also going to get a lot of use out of that as well. So we're going to go to Act 8 here. Okay, so we're going to start right here. You do want to place down your farm units at the very beginning, just so we can stack as much money as quick as possible. Now, the main issue with this event is one, the amount of HP. The bosses have an insane amount of HP towards the end, and as well as Griffith does have his wormhole effect in this, so he does spawn around this area. So we're going to put our DPS units, at least our main ones, to where they're covering this area right here. Now, I did place Guts right here. We're going to use his active actually, and he's going to be able to take care of these early units, and then even if not, they will walk back into him here, and he'll attack as well. So that's why I put him right there. Now, I'm going to place one more at the beginning, and that's just to help out with some more damage. Now you see he doesn't completely kill, and he does filter through some attacks sometimes, so I do want to have him up there to help weaken them when they get to him. But I want to do something like this for my Broly. As you can see, he's covering the whole side of this track right here. That's going to be very good when he gets to his max placement, or to his max upgrade. I'm going to place it like that right there. And we're going to invest into our money units just a little bit here. Oh, I almost forgot. We want to turn on that domain, and that's going to stack up each wave, so we just want to make sure that is active. You guys should die to Guts right here. Yep, they will indeed die, so that's very cool. And then Broly's going to handle anyone who gets it past, so I'm not worried about that at all. So we're going to focus here on upgrading our main units. I'm not worried about this boss. He's, pretty weak at the beginning. Now, next does actually come Gilgamesh. I'm not going to lie, I don't fully know how he works with removing the unit. Maybe one of you guys know can enlighten me. I'll pin the comments thing. But I know he does remove units sometimes, but I found that if I kill him quick enough, he doesn't, or maybe I've gotten lucky, or it's some type of bug, I'm not too sure. So we just want to be ready for Gilgamesh to come out to do as much damage as possible when he gets on field. Now you see Guts is almost taking care of these enemies by himself, so that's pretty good. And then I'm actually going to place Esacnor next, so you can help out with the damage as well when Gilgamesh comes, and hopefully he just kills him quick enough. Okay, we're going to place Esacnor right there, and we're going to continue to invest in our farm units some more. Yeah, I'm going to fast forward this a little bit because I'm just going to be investing in my farm units for now, so it's nothing too difficult. Just keep an eye on these guys right here. They should all die to Broly Esacnor, but maybe if you don't have as strong units as me, you might need to upgrade some more of your units before I do. I'm not sure how your team setup looks like, but it's how you can do it with mine. Like I said, I mean, if you have these units, you should be prioritizing Monarch on them. AV has been very generous with rerolls like pretty recently, so you should definitely be trying to get Monarch on these units, or you should already have it. So at least if you're a decently average player, if you haven't played the game for a while, you honestly should not be attempting this, or if you're new, you just should not be attempting this. You should be doing something else because you're not going to beat this event low-key unless you get carried. We're going to start investing into Broly here a little bit. Okay, so we got him to his full AoE, which is good. That's where we want to keep him at for now, and he's gonna be doing big damage to Gilgamesh when he gets over there. Okay, as you see, Gilgamesh did come out with 2.3 million HP, but my units are pretty capable, so I don't see us having any major issue with that. I'm gonna continue to invest into him just a little bit, so he's doing a lot more damage. I really am ignoring my Guts units right now. They were just kind of placed there for the beginning. At some point, I will invest into them later down the waves, but for now, my Broly and my Esacnor are able to kill all these enemies with ease, so I'm just ignoring these guys right now. We don't want to put any extra money that's not required into them. I think if we can get Broly's next attack here, it'd be very, very good. I actually am going to place another Guts right here just for now. I'm not going to be upgrading it to him at all, but One, he will take a possible stun away from one of my other units. And then two, I don't know how the unit destruction works, so he might just destroy Guts instead of one of my, invested units. So that's why I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna stop investing for now, just in case Broly gets GG's. But we shall see what happens here in a second. And nice, Broly is not getting stunned. He keeps stunning this Guts, which is honestly great because Guts can still attack while being stunned because of how his passive works. Okay, so yeah, we were able to kill him before he did his thing, which is great. So just make sure you have a high damage unit that's able to just kill him quickly. And that's really it. And I'm just gonna kind of fast forward here. I'm investing my Broly, and after that I'm gonna invest into Esacnor. So just focus on maxing one out. I would anyway. Just focus on maxing one unit out first, and then you can be on the next unit. And that's just because, especially with a unit like Broly, he, as you can see, is more than doubling his damage by getting to that max upgrade. So you're just getting more value out of that than just like flip-flopping to each unit. Okay, we upgrade Broly now. We can start placing our trappers next. I just place them all back here at the end. We can leave them unupgraded for now, and they're just gonna continue placing traps, and then I will upgrade them towards the end, and they will just have a lot of damage they'll be doing. As you can see, he's placing a bunch of traps on the, once we get these guys max upgraded, there's no boss that will be able to survive this. So very, very good for us. So the Almighty does actually, also, I just realized my Guts is gone, so I guess Gilgamesh did get rid of him. So which is not really a problem because, like I said, I did not need him anymore, and Broly's even covering that range, so it's not a problem. But the Almighty does have a mechanic to where he can make himself go invulnerable for a little bit. So if you have a weaker team, like he can do this right here, it does last quite a bit. So just be careful if you don't have any strong units, because you might just walk through everything. So just be careful about that. And next up, we do have Buhan that's going to come out. Now, he does regen, so make sure you have a bleed unit. Guts bleeds, Broly applies Rupture, which can stops regen. So just make sure you're bringing that on your team if you're not replicating my setup here. Even the Trapper applies Rupture when someone steps in his trap. So if you need to place him somewhere else throughout the field, that might be useful for you in dealing with Buhan. Yeah, we're going to kind of skip forward. This is really not the difficult part. Oh, another thing to add on, this stage, because it does have the Yomos, it does apply energy drain, so it's going to bring your damage down. Now, both Broly and Esacnor can cleanse, but if you do not have a unit that cleanses itself, just make sure you do bring a cleanser. The King is a really good cleanse unit that you might want to bring on your team, so just making sure you're building your team around that. We are able to get an Esacnor to max, and now this is why I want to invest into my trappers for the time being. So Esacnor's max, Broly's max, they're going to be doing a lot of damage in this area. So I just, like I said, want to focus on these trappers. So we're going to get these guys maxed out. Each trap is doing 400% damage. So this is literally millions and millions and millions of damage just right here in this line, with these guys fully maxed out anyways. And Buhan does regen, you can see he's at 9.5, even though he did take some damage from Guts, because that bleed did wear off. So Buhan is now getting in the range of my Broly, and my Esacnor, as you can see, he does have a Rupture, courtesy of Broly, so he's not going to be regening at all, and these guys are going to be able to handle him quite easily. You can look on the wiki for any units that apply bleed or Rupture. There are some pretty good ones like Lancer, Alucard, if you got lucky enough to get him. Guts is a good bleed unit, which you should have. Guts is very easy, quite easy to get, and pretty good. So Buhan is getting taken down without an issue. We're just going to continue upgrading our trappers. And then once we do have those guys maxed out, I want to invest into this Guts right here, because he is a full AoE on max upgrade, and that's going to help with just the amount of enemies that are going to be coming over here. And so our Broly and our Esacnor, especially Esacnor, will be able to focus on the boss when it comes, instead of all these enemies. So that's why I'm upgrading that Guts later on. But these guys do take priority, so just make sure you get that done. And just for the video, I don't even have a crazy familiar. I think I have 32% crit damage. I don't know what the range is. Maybe that is insane, but I got that pretty early on. I just have the nose familiar on for Guts because it's pretty good for him. And just unbound damage and increased damage by 30%. And then I don't even have familiar for my Trapper. It might be helpful to put Fu, since these guys are already pretty cheap. You might want to make them even cheaper if you're having money issues. But honestly, a damage familiar could be useful as well. So now we maxed out all these guys. We're now going to be focusing on Guts here. And we do have Gleeful Disorder. So he has 18 mil HP. It's quite a lot. So we're just going to be waiting until he gets to my units, and then I'll let you guys see how quickly he dies to them. Okay, Gleeful Disorder is now in range. I don't believe he has regen. I honestly can't remember. It doesn't tell me. I don't believe he has regen, but you know, you need one for Buhan anyway, so just make sure you have one in this area just in case. And he's actually not taking a whole lot of damage because this boss does have like some kind of damage reduction effect where you have to attack him a lot to kind of get rid of that. And I actually, if I remember correctly, I believe placing and then reselling units helps get rid of that. I think it's like he wants to get hit by new units, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe do this if you're able, you have the money to just kind of resell, place down, so he's constantly getting hit by a new unit. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how that mechanic works, but even if he does end up passing through, all of these traps are 100% going to kill him, which it seems like he does end up passing through, which is not bad at all. Like I said, that's why you have the trapper for here. And you're about to see how crazy this guy actually is. So you have all four of them, but I don't even know if you want Monarch. This might be, I have Ethereal, you can get Solar or a different trait, but this might just be better because you're about to see how much damage is going to get done to this guy. Boom, 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 boom. Just like that. Just like that. We had so many traps left, and he's going to replace these traps, and they're going to get to plus 400% damage way before Griffith even spawns. So we're on wave 30. We do have the Malformed Giant coming out. I am going to upgrade this guy to max. So he's doing full AoE now at 103 mil HP. So it is a lot of HP. We're waiting till wave 31. Once wave 31 hits, so we're going to use the ultimate active, but because the way Esacnor works, he will sell himself after 5 rounds. So you always want to make sure you do it basically not exactly at 5, we'll do it below 5. So once it's wave 31, we will go ahead and use that active. There we go. We went ahead and used it. And I'm going to just save money now, honestly. So yeah, we're basically just waiting for this guy to get to my units over here. So when that happens, you know, we'll cut to that. And Griffith will spawn soon as well. As you can see, these traps are fully up, already and running. This one's like the only one not at 400, but it's at 390. So that was just literally like 2 or 3 waves, I think. So it's not bad at all. I think it's crazy that he was able to take 3 mil damage, it looks like, just from this Guts, I guess. That's kind of crazy, actually, because how slow he is. That's actually insane. It's a level 1 Guts. Yeah, now he's getting to the range of my units, and now he's going to start taking some actual damage. As you can see, his HP bar is dropping pretty fast. So, and this is what I was talking about by all the units, like, clumping up. As you can see here, our Guts can help with that if they do get past that point. Now, honestly, they might not. Thought about placing one right here, but I don't want to for the sake of the video in case you don't have like strong units. I want to do like the bare minimum, I guess. So, but there's a possibility. I have a lot of money. You could place another Guts just to speed this up. In fact, I actually will do that because you will have a lot of money anyway. I'm going to place another Guts here to help with that Griffith when he does spawn. I won't be able to get him to that max AoE, unfortunately, but that's okay. He's at 66 mil right now, so taking a lot of damage. We're waiting until next wave. We'll have enough money to upgrade this guy to max. Boom, upgrade max. And I'm waiting for Griffith to spawn, and when he does, I will use my actives. Saw these guys. Ooh, I almost stole my trapper. That's really bad. Okay, so I'm going to use his active. As you see, he spawned right here. Use his active. And I'm going to use my Esacnor active. I'm not going to lie. I feel like it barely does any damage. I can't even tell that it did damage. I don't know if it did, but it's fine. It is what it is. It might be bugged right now, or their HP bar is so high that you just can't tell. Griffith is getting eviscerated right now. He's getting eviscerated heavy. Because I have a Monarch Broly, Monarch Esacnor, 2 Ethereal maxed out Guts with their active. And it's taking a whole lot of damage. I might not even get to deploy my trapper. So you have like upwards of 20 mil in damage just right here waiting. So yeah, if you don't have my units, use trapper. He is insane. He is pretty broken. We're closing in on the end here. He has 10 mil, going down to 9 mil. He will die, I believe, before he gets out of range. Like I said, I like that even more because that means that you could optimize this, and if you don't, or if you're not able to optimize this, you have the trapper. And look, he does end up reaching, but 895k HP. He's gonna get 1 hit by this trap. Not even gonna hit multiple traps. There we go. But the traps did help with the Gleeful Disorder, which is nice. So I think it's very useful. Very good team. As you see, this guy is so slow. He's just going to die. He's never going to make it to these traps. In fact, I'm going to sell this Guts and replace it just so I can kill these guys faster right here. I mean, this guy is GG. This guy's game is over. And now we're just waiting on these guys to be killed right here. There we go. And that is the event done. Now, like I said, this event is important. You can get to Act 9, which is the macro act. I haven't seen a video yet, so hopefully I'm one of the first people to post a video showcasing how to beat that dungeon. But yeah, hope you guys found this video helpful. Like I said, just make sure you have some very strong damage dealers, a very good early placement unit like Guts, preferably someone who has a bleed as well. And then Trapper is the secret hidden gem to this team. If you guys need any help or questions, put it down in the comment section down below. I'll do my best to respond. And I might do some experimenting after this video with any like replaceable units that you can replace instead of somebody. So check the pinned comment or something like that or description for any additional units if I decide to place them there. But hey guys, I hope you guys did enjoy. Please subscribe if you found this video helpful. We're trying to reach 1K at some point. You know, it's my goal right now to hit 1K. So if you guys can help me out with that, that'd be great. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. We're doing DIO OH soon, very, very soon. So stick around. Peace.